Hi everyone and welcome. Somewhere in the quiet corners of our planet, there are animals that live almost entirely alone. No packs, no herds, just silence, vast landscapes, and the rhythm of nature. From deep oceans to remote mountains, these creatures have mastered the art of solitude. How animals thrive alone. While many animals depend on groups for protection and cooperation, some of the most remarkable species on Earth have evolved to live almost entirely alone. Their survival strategies are shaped by silence, distance, and patience. In environments where food may be scarce or territories vast, solitude can actually be one of nature's most successful strategies. For solitary animals, territory is everything. Unlike herd animals that share resources, solitary species often defend large areas that provide enough food to support only one individual. The tiger, for example, is one of the most famous solitary predators. In the forests and grasslands of Asia, a single tiger may control a territory that spans dozens or even hundreds of square kilometers. Within this territory, the tiger quietly patrols rivers, forests, and hidden paths, marking trees with scent signals that warn other tigers to keep their distance. Another remarkable solitary hunter is the octopus. Living in coral reefs and rocky seabeds, most octopus species spend their lives alone, hiding in crevices and carefully observing their surroundings. These intelligent creatures have developed astonishing abilities that help them survive without the protection of a group. An octopus can change the color and texture of its skin within seconds, blending perfectly with rocks, sand, or coral. In this way, it becomes almost invisible to both predators and prey. In the deserts of Africa and the Middle East, the fennec fox survives in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. These small foxes often hunt alone during the cool hours of the night. Their enormous ears not only help release body heat but also allow them to hear insects and small animals moving beneath the sand. Even in the quiet darkness of the desert, their sensitive hearing helps them locate prey that would otherwise remain hidden. Deep beneath the ocean surface lives another master of solitude, the giant squid. For centuries, this mysterious creature was known only from legends and rare remains found in the stomachs of whales. Scientists now believe that giant squids spend most of their lives alone in the deep sea, drifting through the darkness where sunlight never reaches. In this vast and silent world, encounters between individuals may be extremely rare. Some solitary animals are not predators at all but peaceful wanderers. The sloth, for example, lives most of its life alone among the branches of tropical forests in Central and South America. Moving slowly and quietly, sloths spend their days eating leaves and resting in the trees. Their slow lifestyle helps them conserve energy in an environment where food provides very little nutrition. Interestingly, many solitary animals communicate without ever meeting face to face. They leave scent marks, sounds, or subtle signs in their environment. Wolves, for instance, are known for living in packs, but some wolves travel alone for long periods while searching for new territory or a mate. During these solitary journeys, they communicate through howls that can travel many kilometers through forests and valleys. Solitary living may appear peaceful, but it also requires extraordinary awareness. Animals that live alone must rely entirely on their own senses and instincts. Without the help of a group to watch for danger, they develop heightened perception of their surroundings, listening carefully, observing quietly, and reacting quickly to the smallest changes in their environment. Yet there is something quietly beautiful about these solitary lives. In the stillness of forests, deserts, oceans, and mountains, these animals move through the world with independence and calm. Their existence reminds us that life on Earth can flourish not only through cooperation, but also through remarkable self-reliance. The quiet lives of the world's loneliest animals. Across the vast landscapes of Earth, From frozen mountains to silent deserts and deep oceans, there are animals that spend most of their lives alone. Unlike creatures that live in herds, colonies, or large families, these solitary animals move through the world quietly, rarely encountering others of their kind. Their lives are not lonely in the human sense. Instead, solitude is simply the natural rhythm of their existence. Many of the world's most fascinating animals are solitary by design. Evolution shaped them to thrive independently. For some, solitude reduces competition for food. For others, it increases their ability to hunt effectively. And in a few remarkable cases, their environment itself is so vast and sparse that meeting another member of their species is an exceptionally rare event. One of the most famous examples is the snow leopard. Living high in the remote mountains of Central Asia, these elusive cats inhabit enormous territories that can stretch across hundreds of square kilometers. The steep cliffs, icy winds, and rugged terrain create a world where animals are scattered across great distances. Snow leopards rarely see each other except during a brief mating season. For the rest of the year, they travel silently across rocky slopes, leaving only faint tracks in the snow. In the deep oceans, solitude can become even more profound. The blue whale, the largest animal ever known to exist, often travels alone through immense stretches of water. The ocean is so vast that two whales may swim hundreds of kilometers apart without ever crossing paths. Their haunting low-frequency songs travel across entire ocean basins, perhaps serving as one of the few ways these giants communicate across the watery emptiness. Some solitary animals live in environments where survival itself demands independence. The polar bear, for example, roams the Arctic ice mostly alone. Unlike social bears, polar bears depend heavily on wide hunting grounds. They search for seals across shifting sea ice, moving silently through a landscape of white horizons and frozen silence. Meeting another polar bear is uncommon, and prolonged social interaction is rare outside of mothers raising cubs. In tropical forests, another solitary wanderer moves beneath the thick canopy, the jaguar. As the largest cat of the Americas, the jaguar patrols vast territories along rivers and dense jungle paths. These powerful predators rely on stealth and patience. Solitary living allows them to hunt without competition and maintain control over the resources within their territory. But solitude is not limited to large predators. Even among smaller creatures, isolation can be a successful strategy. The giant panda, despite its gentle reputation, lives mostly alone within the bamboo forests of China. Each panda maintains its own feeding territory, spending long hours quietly consuming bamboo and resting in the shade of the forest. Perhaps the most mysterious example of extreme solitude belongs to a whale once nicknamed the loneliest whale in the world. Scientists discovered its unusual call in the Pacific Ocean, a frequency unlike that of any known whale species. Because other whales may not recognize this unique sound, it is possible that this whale has spent years traveling the oceans without hearing a reply. Whether wandering across snowy mountains, drifting through endless oceans, or moving silently through forests, solitary animals reveal a different side of life on Earth. Their stories remind us that nature does not always depend on companionship. Sometimes, survival is found in quiet independence and the ability to navigate the vast world alone. Rare encounters, when the world's loneliest animals finally meet. For animals that spend most of their lives alone, meeting another member of their own species can be a rare and extraordinary moment. In some cases, these encounters may happen only a few times during an entire lifetime. Yet these brief meetings play an essential role in the survival of their species, allowing animals to reproduce, exchange information through subtle signals, and maintain the delicate balance of nature. One remarkable example can be found in the vast forests of the Russian Far East and northeastern China, where the Amur tiger lives. These powerful cats maintain enormous territories that may stretch across hundreds of square kilometers. Because of the large distances between individuals, encounters between adult tigers are rare. Most meetings occur during the short mating season, when males and females briefly share the same territory. For a few days, the usually solitary hunters walk together through the forest, communicating through scent, vocalizations, and body language before eventually returning to their separate lives. In the icy wilderness of the Arctic, another solitary creature experiences similarly rare meetings. The Arctic fox travels across enormous tundra landscapes where food sources may be scattered and unpredictable. During winter, when the snow-covered land stretches endlessly across the horizon, these foxes may wander for weeks without encountering another of their kind. Yet when breeding season arrives, pairs briefly come together to raise a litter of pups in carefully hidden dens beneath the snow. Deep within the oceans, the meeting of solitary animals can be even more mysterious. The giant squid, one of the most elusive animals ever discovered, spends its life in the dark depths of the sea. Because the deep ocean is so vast and difficult to explore, scientists still know very little about how often giant squids encounter each other. Some researchers believe that individuals may drift through the ocean for years before meeting another member of their species. Even among birds, solitude can shape extraordinary behavior. The wandering albatross, one of the largest flying birds on Earth, may travel across thousands of kilometers of open ocean alone. These birds can glide for hours without flapping their wings, riding invisible air currents above the waves. Yet after years of solitary travel, wandering albatrosses return to remote islands where they reunite with lifelong partners. Their graceful courtship dances, involving bows, calls, and synchronized movements, can continue for many seasons. In remote mountain forests, another solitary animal experiences rare but important encounters. The Eurasian lynx quietly patrols its territory through dense woodland and rocky hills. Lynx communicate mainly through scent marks and scratch marks on trees. These signs act like invisible messages left for other lynx passing through the same region. By following these subtle clues, individuals may eventually locate one another during the breeding season. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of these rare encounters is how brief they often are. Unlike social animals that form lasting groups, solitary animals usually separate soon after mating or raising young. Their survival depends on returning to their independent routines, hunting, exploring, and defending their territory alone. Yet these fleeting moments of connection reveal something remarkable about life in the natural world. Even the most solitary creatures remain part of a larger ecological network. Their rare meetings ensure the continuation of their species and maintain the quiet rhythms of ecosystems that stretch across mountains, forests, deserts, and oceans. Invisible travelers. How scientists discover the lives of solitary animals. For many centuries, the world's most solitary animals remained almost completely hidden from human knowledge. Creatures that wandered alone across vast mountains, deserts, forests, and deep oceans rarely crossed paths with people. Because of this, scientists once knew very little about how these animals lived, traveled, or survived in such remote environments. Only in recent decades has modern technology begun to reveal the quiet secrets of their solitary lives. One of the most important tools scientists use today is satellite tracking. Small, lightweight collars can now be safely attached to certain animals, allowing researchers to follow their movements across enormous distances. Through these signals sent to satellites orbiting Earth, scientists can see where animals travel, how far they roam, and which landscapes they prefer. This technology has revealed astonishing journeys. Some solitary animals travel thousands of kilometers each year without ever encountering another individual. Snow leopards provide one fascinating example. These elusive mountain cats inhabit rugged regions of Central Asia where steep cliffs and high altitudes make observation extremely difficult. By using GPS collars, researchers discovered that snow leopards often patrol territories far larger than scientists once believed. A single individual may travel silently across mountain ridges and deep valleys for weeks at a time, rarely encountering another snow leopard except during the breeding season. In the oceans, tracking solitary animals presents even greater challenges. The deep sea remains one of the least explored environments on Earth. To study animals that live in these dark waters, scientists sometimes attach special electronic tags that record depth, temperature, and movement. When the tag eventually detaches and floats to the surface, the stored information is transmitted to satellites. These data help researchers understand the mysterious migrations of animals like whales, sharks, and giant squids. Camera traps have also transformed the study of solitary wildlife. These small automatic cameras are placed in forests, deserts, or mountains and activated by motion. When an animal passes nearby, the camera silently captures photographs or video. In some cases, camera traps have recorded species that had rarely been seen by humans. Images of snow leopards, clouded leopards, and rare lynx have revealed glimpses of animals moving quietly through their remote habitats. Another surprising discovery came from acoustic monitoring, the use of underwater microphones called hydrophones. By listening to the sounds of the ocean, scientists can detect whales communicating across vast distances. Some whale calls travel hundreds of kilometers through water, creating a kind of acoustic map of marine life. Through these recordings, researchers have learned that even solitary whales may still remain connected through long-distance sound. In forests and jungles, scientists sometimes track animals by studying the traces they leave behind. Footprints in mud, scratches on tree bark, scent markings, and even tiny strands of fur can reveal valuable information. With careful observation, researchers can piece together the movements of animals that may never be directly seen. These methods have transformed our understanding of solitary wildlife. Animals that once seemed almost mythical are now slowly revealing their hidden lives. Yet even with advanced technology, much remains unknown. Many solitary species still move through environments so remote and vast that they remain largely beyond human observation. There is something deeply fascinating about this mystery. The quiet journeys of solitary animals remind us that large parts of the natural world still operate beyond our awareness. High in mountain ranges, deep beneath the ocean surface, and across endless wilderness, these animals continue their silent lives, moving through landscapes where the rhythms of nature unfold slowly and peacefully. The rarest solitary creatures on Earth. Among the many animals that live solitary lives, some species are so rare and widely scattered that individuals may spend years without ever encountering another member of their kind. These animals inhabit remote corners of the planet where human presence is minimal and the natural world remains largely untouched. Their lives unfold quietly across immense distances, making them some of the most mysterious creatures on Earth. One remarkable example is the Iberian lynx. Native to a few regions of Spain and Portugal, this elegant wild cat was once close to extinction. Habitat loss and declining prey populations reduced their numbers to only a few hundred individuals. Because each lynx maintains its own territory, many live far apart from one another in isolated patches of Mediterranean forest. Conservation programs have helped the species slowly recover, but Iberian lynxes still live largely solitary lives, moving silently through scrubland and oak forests in search of rabbits. Another extremely rare solitary animal is the sowler, sometimes called the Asian unicorn. Discovered by scientists only in 1992 in the forests of Vietnam and Laos, the sowler remains one of the least observed large mammals in the world. Very few individuals have ever been seen in the wild. These shy animals inhabit remote mountain forests where dense vegetation and rugged terrain make observation extremely difficult. Most of what scientists know about the Sowler comes from tracks, camera trap images, and rare sightings. In the high mountains of Central Asia lives another solitary and elusive creature, the snow leopard. While this animal is better known than the Sowler, its population is still scattered across enormous mountain ranges stretching through several countries. Snow leopards inhabit rocky slopes, alpine meadows, and icy cliffs where few other large predators can survive. Because their territories are so large and their environment so rugged, encounters between individuals may occur only a handful of times each year. Some of the rarest solitary animals live far beneath the ocean surface. One such example is the goblin shark, an unusual deep-sea species known for its long flattened snout and extendable jaws. Goblin sharks inhabit deep waters along continental slopes where sunlight never reaches. Because these environments are difficult to explore, scientists rarely encounter them. Most sightings occur when deep-sea fishing vessels accidentally bring one to the surface. In the remote forests of Southeast Asia, the clouded leopard lives a similarly hidden existence. This beautifully patterned cat spends much of its life alone among dense jungle vegetation. Clouded leopards are excellent climbers and can move gracefully through tree branches high above the forest floor. Their secretive nature and preference for thick forest habitats make them one of the most difficult big cats to study in the wild. The quiet lives of these animals remind us that some parts of the natural world remain wonderfully mysterious. Despite modern technology and scientific research, certain species continue to move unseen through remote landscapes. Their rarity makes every discovery valuable, offering new insight into how animals survive in isolated environments. These solitary creatures also highlight the importance of protecting the fragile ecosystems they depend on. When populations are small and individuals live far apart, even small environmental changes can have significant effects. Conservation efforts today focus not only on protecting individual animals but also on preserving the vast landscapes that allow them to live their solitary lives. The surprising advantages of living alone. In the natural world, living alone may seem difficult or even risky. Without the protection of a herd or the cooperation of a group, solitary animals must rely entirely on their own instincts and abilities. Yet for many species, solitude is not a disadvantage at all. In fact, it can provide powerful advantages that help animals survive in challenging environments. One of the most important benefits of solitary living is reduced competition for food. In ecosystems where resources are limited, too many animals sharing the same territory could quickly exhaust the available supply. By spreading out across large areas, solitary animals ensure that each individual has access to enough food to survive. This strategy is especially common among large predators such as tigers, jaguars, and snow leopards. Their vast territories allow them to hunt without competing directly with others of their own species. Solitary living can also make animals more effective hunters. Many predators rely on stealth, patience, and surprise when catching prey. Large groups can create noise or movement that alerts potential prey animals. By hunting alone, predators can move quietly through forests, grasslands, or mountains, carefully observing their surroundings and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The cheetah provides an interesting example of this advantage. While some cheetahs form small family groups, many individuals spend long periods hunting alone across the open plains of Africa. Their exceptional speed allows them to chase prey with incredible precision. Solitary hunting gives them the flexibility to move quickly and adapt their strategy without coordinating with other hunters. Solitude can also help animals avoid conflict. When animals live too close together, competition for territory or mates may lead to frequent fights. For solitary species, Large personal territories reduce the likelihood of these dangerous encounters. Many animals communicate through scent markings, scratches on trees, or vocal signals that warn others to keep their distance. Some solitary animals have developed extraordinary senses that help them survive independently. The owl, for example, often hunts alone during the quiet hours of the night. Its remarkable hearing allows it to detect the faint rustling of a mouse beneath leaves or snow. Even in complete darkness, the owl can locate prey with astonishing accuracy. Solitary living can also provide greater flexibility in movement. Animals that travel alone are free to explore large regions without needing to stay close to a group. This mobility can be especially useful in environments where food sources change with the seasons. Some solitary animals migrate long distances, quietly following the shifting availability of prey or vegetation. Despite their independence, solitary animals are still connected to the ecosystems around them. Each individual plays a role in maintaining the balance of nature. Predators regulate prey populations, herbivores shape plant communities, and even solitary scavengers help recycle nutrients back into the environment. Perhaps the most peaceful aspect of solitary life is the rhythm it creates. Many solitary animals move slowly and deliberately through their habitats, spending long hours resting, observing, and exploring. Their lives unfold in harmony with the natural cycles of day and night, seasons, and changing landscapes.